start in mountain pose. Begin our practice right here in standing. So just take a few moments just to feel rooted and connected, making this connection to the earth, the ground beneath you. As you find steadiness in your body, turn to your breath. Focus on your breathing. The first few breaths here are just full and complete breaths. Very expansive. Let the breath fill you up. And just allow your breath just to settle, but continue to be aware of your breathing, how your body is responding to your breath. Listen to the sound of your breath. As we hold in stillness, just moving a little deeper within. It's also a wonderful time to set an intention for your practice. Something you like to work on, something you're feeling that you'd like to enhance. Maybe there's something you like to release. In our practice today, we will be holding some poses, focusing on some deep lunges and pigeon pose. As you breathe in, just feel breath rising upward to fill your lungs. Again, just turning your attention to your breath. As you exhale, just draw your navel inward towards your spine, that light connection to your center body. Again, a breath in, feel the lengthening in your spine, growing a little taller, filling up your lungs. Exhale, connecting to the abdominal lock. Uddiyana Bandha. Just take 3 more breaths like this. Bringing energy to the body, preparing your body to move. When you're ready, inhale, extend your arms overhead. Take your time and really reach and stretch. And we're going to exhale and fold forward, hinging at the hips. Bend your knees as much as you need to. And just slowly fold, making your way down. Maybe you'll touch your toes. Inhale to slide your hands up the shins and extend your spine long and flat. Exhale, just carefully fold once again. Feel the curvature in the spine as we hold forward fold. Feel the heaviness in the body. Release your shoulders. Even shake your arms a bit to feel that release. Check in with your neck. Maybe nod yes a few times. Shake your head no. Even feel free to sway the whole upper body, just left and right. Just checking in with body, how it feels. Paying attention to what it may need in your practice today. Just adding to your personal intention. Let's get ready to move here. Shifting your weight back into your heels, bend your knees, feel like you're about to sit down into a low chair. Extend through the spine, and even take your arms out to the side as you now stand with the breath in, reaching into the air, another nice stretch. Exhale, you can bring your hands down to heart center or arms down by your side. Just pause for a moment just to keep this connection with breath. Let's go through that same sequence. At your own pace, inhale, sweep your arms out and up. Feel the lengthening to the sides of your body. Exhale, yes, swan dive forward, softening the knees. Maybe your hands just land at your shins or ankles. Inhale, let's just rise up halfway so you form that long tabletop with the upper body. Exhale, folding, melting all the way down, perhaps a complete release as you're able. Let's keep it moving, shifting your weight back into your heels, bend your knees. Inhale and reverse your swan dive. Let's come up, Reach a little higher as you're able, perhaps even look up. Exhale, hands to heart or arms to your side. Take a moment, find stillness, the breath, the connection to the earth. Let's continue with our sun salutation. Whenever you're ready to move, inhale and sweep your arms all the way up into the air. Energy through your fingertips. Exhale, spread your wings, bend your knees, and fold forward. Make your way down. Take your time. Inhale, slide your hands up the legs, extend through the spine, a long flat back like a table. This exhale, fold. Bend your knees enough so you can bring your hands down to your mat. And just take a couple steps back or even hop back. So you're in plank pose, a long straight line. Just pause for a moment, breathing in. This exhale, you can bend your knees slightly and send your hips up into the air, creating downward facing dog. Take a moment as needed to adjust your feet, adjust your hands, so you can fully arrive in the pose and settle into the posture. You might hold for a moment, find the breath, connect to the position, and certainly add movement as you'd like, stretching your calves, your toes, a little walking sensation, pedaling the feet, feeling the knees bend, hips shifting side to side. Continue with our flow, and another full breath in as you're able. Fill up your lungs. Very expansive. Exhale, connect to your core, navel drawing in towards spine, then bend your knees to walk, step, or even jump both feet up to the top of the mat. You'll be in forward fold. That's it. Inhale, rise up just halfway. Here's our monkey pose. Exhale, fold. Weight shift into the heels, bend your knees. Inhale, reverse swan dive, come all the way up, reaching high. Let's keep it moving. This exhale, take chair pose, Utkatasana. It could be a high seat, it can certainly be a low seat. Holding for a moment, just good energy in the arms as they extend. Breathe in, yes, good reach. Exhale, diving out of your seat. Down towards toes, forward fold. Good. Inhale, lengthening halfway up, our monkey pose, flat back, good. Exhale, fold all the way down. Plant your hands into the ground. Walk or step back into plank pose. Now, as before, you can certainly take that shortcut to down dog or bend your elbows, squeeze them in towards ribs to finish your push-up, Chaturanga Dandasana. And then here, finding a back bend. It might be a low cobra, upward facing dog, or even something in between. And exhale, just tuck your toes under, send your hips into the air, downward facing dog. Adjusting the hands and feet again just to arrive in the posture. And we'll continue with our flow. Inhale to extend right leg up behind you. Really feel the energy of the lifted leg. Exhale to step the right foot to the top of the mat. Come to our first lunge here, warrior one. Turn your left heel to the ground behind you. Put some good pressure back there. Light hands hinge from hips, rising up, reaching into the sky. There's our warrior one. Exhale, fold. Let's make our way back down. Plant the hands. Slide the right foot back, plank. Again, the shortcut to down dog, or complete the series. You can bring knees to the floor first, then chest if you'd like. Maybe a low cobra or sphinx for your back bend, and downward facing dog, allowing the exhale to guide your hips into the sky. When you're ready, inhale to extend your left leg now into the air. Exhale, stepping the left foot to the top of the mat. Good energy. Good. Yeah, picking up the left foot to place it there. Turn right heel to the floor. Good balance. Long torso as you now inhale, hinge from hips, rising up. Find the sky with the fingertips. Exhale, leading with the heart. Fold forward, right back down. Plant your hands. Slide left foot back, plank pose. Completing the series as you'd like. Arriving together in our downward facing dog. Hold for a moment. We'll take a full breath in. Exhale, walk, step, or hop. Both feet return to the top of the mat, forward fold. Inhale, lengthening through the spine. Fold again. Weight shift into the heels, bend your knees. Inhale, reverse swan dive, come up to standing. Reaching high, exhale, arms to your side this time. Okay, just a brief pause here. You might just want to shake out the shoulders. Check in with head and neck. Let's do a side bend here, a standing side bend. So when you're ready, just follow me. Inhale, reaching the arms up into the sky. With the exhale, just interlace your fingers with your Index fingers pointing up towards the ceiling. We'll inhale and just point and reach up. With the exhale, a little tip to your right side. It doesn't have to be too far. It doesn't have to be too much. Just enough where you start to feel a kind of a lengthening or stretch quality through the left side. You can certainly go more if it feels okay. But make sure the hands, your fingertips here, the index fingers are still pointing upward at this angle. That might even change the sensation down through the left side. We're going to inhale and come right back up to the top, straight line. Exhale, let's go ahead and release and relax the shoulders. Okay. Into the other side. And if you're ready, reaching into the air, we'll fold the fingers, index fingers reaching for the ceiling. Inhale, reach up. Exhale, now tip to your left. That's it. Noticing what's happening on the right side. Keep pointing, reaching upward. Notice if that changes the sensation. Even breathe into the right rib cage. There we are, nice side bend. We're going to come back up with the in-breath. And exhale, once again, just release the hands, bring the arms back down by your side. Yeah, check in with shoulders again. Take a breath, letting it go. Let's continue with our sequence, going at your own pace. Inhale, sweep the arms into the sky. Exhale, take chair pose again, shifting weight into the hips and heels, outstretched arms, high seat or low seat. Breathe in, more extension out through the arms. Exhale, let's dive forward. Nice complete fold. Inhale, rise up halfway, or just feel the good extension of the spine. Crown leads you forward. Exhale, folding enough to bring hands to the ground. Hop or step back, plank pose. As you're able, come right down, Chaturanga Dandasana, or any variation that you like for the sequence. Find a back bend. It might be upward facing dog. And exhale, downward facing dog. Inhale, extend right leg up behind you. Exhale, right foot to the top of the mat. Back to our warrior one. So make sure the left heel is planted into the earth. You feel balanced. We're going to rise up and actually hold our warrior one. Reaching high. Let's go ahead and interlace the fingers again. Index fingers pointing towards the ceiling, and just repeat that side bend. So inhale, reach up. Exhale, tip to your right. And since we're tipping to the right, just notice what's happening down through the entire left side, through the left rib cage, and even down through the left hip flexor. Since we're going to be working with some lunges, we're just trying to get some good opening in that part of the body. We're going to rise back up nice and tall. Inhale. And exhale, go ahead and open this to a warrior two. Make some adjustments with the feet. So we got this lunge happening. Good. Follow your right arm forward to angle the upper half of the body. We'll rotate the arms. Right arm reaching downward. The left hand, you can just keep it reaching up, but feel free to move that around. Maybe you want to reach it over your head, towards the front of the room for a left side body stretch. You might even rest the arm by bringing it down to your side. Or you even can bring left hand behind you to low back. Maybe get into the shoulder a little bit. So you got some options while the legs are working strongly for you in this lunge and supporting the body. Here we go. And inhale to re-extend the left arm up into the air. We'll exhale and turn, hands to the ground. We'll step back, plank pose. Finishing the sequence as you'd like. The shortcut's just fine, or some variation of a vinyasa or flow to get you to downward facing dog. Inhale to extend left leg up and back. Good energy, reaching back. Exhale, left foot to the top of the mat. Taking your time. Once you're planted there, right heel to the floor and balance. Hinge from hips, rising up, warrior one. Yes, we're holding our warrior one. Interlace fingers. Point towards the ceiling with the index fingers. Inhale, reach up. Exhale, a bit of a tip to your left. Again, noticing what's happening down through the right side. Even down past the hip flexor, your thigh, even down to the leg, ankle, and foot. Good connection to the ground behind you. It's inhale, come back up to the top, nice and tall. Exhale, opening to your warrior two. Opening up sideways, maybe a deeper lunge. Side angle pose, reaching out to angle the upper half of the body. Left hand now can reach towards the floor or even come all the way to the floor, or stack blocks, or stay up much higher where your left hand or even left forearm can rest lightly on the thigh. Again, some freedom with the right arm, reaching up, maybe over your head, down to your side or behind you. Good. Here we go. An inhale to re-extend, right arm up into the sky. Exhale, turn. Bring both hands down to the ground. We'll slide the left foot back. Plank pose, finishing your sequence. Modify if you need to. Finishing in downward facing dog. Hold for a moment. And then gently set your knees onto the floor. Sit back briefly in hero pose. And then off to the side. Let's get prepared for bridge. So you can swing the legs around to the front. You can sit in the center of your mat. Go ahead and roll down onto your back. Bring knees into chest. Any movement that might feel good for you here before we move into our back bend. And when you're ready, go ahead and yes, set your feet onto the floor. A nice full breath in, filling up your lungs. Exhale, engage your core center, then feel the hips lift away from the ground. Now your arms might be just flat on the floor, or you might bend your elbows so your arms are at 90 degrees, pressing the backs of your arms down into the mat to help lift and open the whole front body, upper body. That's it, yeah. Feel free to use any props like a block to sit on if you'd like. Even adjust the feet if it feels better to take the feet wider, just so there's more space in your hips and low back. Try that out, just experiment. Okay. Our back bends also can get into the hips. Okay. Also preparing for our lunges, so feel this in the thighs, hip flexors, low belly. Now feel free to stay flat on your feet, but if you're able, step your feet closer toward yourself and rise up onto your tiptoes. Okay, that's going to lift you a bit higher. Yeah. Working the calves, certainly working your toes. And perhaps with that higher sensation, more of this back bend feel. Even sending more breath up to the upper regions of the lungs, right up to the collarbones. Take 2 more breaths. Nice. Then stepping forward so your feet are flat onto the ground once again. Extend your arms into the sky and lower your way down to the earth. Let's extend the body here. Extend the legs out front. Reach the arms behind you. Reach. Nice stretch there. Eventually hugging both knees back into chest. Rocking forward and back. Finding the energy with the exhale to rock your way up to seated so you can come to boat pose. Knees can be bent here. You can experiment with extending the legs if you'd like. You can hold on to the legs for the duration or play with releasing and freeing up the hands. Not going to be here too long. We'll breathe in, feel like you're floating upward. Yeah, exhale, we'll cross legs, hands in front or even to the side, so you can swing the feet back behind you, step or hop back, plank pose, straight line. Take a shortcut here to downward facing dog. When you're ready, inhale, extend right leg up behind you. Hold that for a moment and just feel longer as you're able. Reaching back through this lifted foot, hands pressed a little bit more firmly into the ground. Now we're going to open this up, so bend your knee, bring your heel down toward your backside. A bit of a lift of the knee, so you can start to feel the hip opener, a slight twist in the spine. Stay there, or maybe twist open a little bit more, as if you were going to step over yourself. We're not going to, but just feel as if you were going to. Again, noticing what's happening down through the whole right side of your body. Okay, ribs, belt line, hip flexor, even the right thigh. Now let's unwind it. Step right foot to the top of the mat, back to our warrior one. Left heel to the floor. We're just going to flow through this now. Go at your own pace, rising up, first warrior. Exhale, opening up to warrior two. Some adjustments with the feet. Side angle, reach out, rotate the arms. Maybe the left arm comes up and over, reaching towards the front of the room. Nice extension. Inhale there. Exhale, turn and fold. You're going to bring your hands down to the floor on the inside of your right foot. Rise up onto your tiptoes behind you. You're going to gently set the left knee onto the floor. Let's set this up. You might want to have a block nearby. This might come in handy. So I like to step the hands forward a little bit and even kind of wiggle the foot forward and even off to the right side a little bit. It might even step right off the mat, just so there's lots of space in that right inner thigh. I'm pushing into the floor with the hands for strong, straight arms. Look forward as if you're going forward, just to find some length in the spine. Inhale to continue that extension. Exhale to start to sink from the hips, maybe forward and slightly downward. So we're getting into that left hip flexor, also into the right inner thigh. Now you can stay on your hands, or maybe you're starting to bend the elbows and lowering your way down closer to the floor. You never need to reach the floor. But if you can, maybe the elbows and arms can come down to the ground, or if that feels too far or it's too deep and it creates too much sensation, maybe bring in a block or two. You can rest your hands or arms on the block. Now we're going to hold here. So really rely on breath to help you support the pose. Feel release, extensions, lengthening. Maybe as space is created, you're able to sink a little deeper, but keep paying attention. No need to go too far. If it feels like the body is reacting rather than responding, meaning if you're reacting like you're going into stress mode, then we want to back out of that. Okay? Maybe you just want to respond to this, like, oh, this feels okay. I like this. This feels good. Doesn't feel stressful or overwhelming. But again, at any time, just start to back out of the pose. There you go. Let's take 3 more breaths here. Take your time. See if you can make them slow, full, deep breaths. Start to lift the hips coming out of that deep sinking sensation. Kind of walk the hands over to left side a little bit so we can actually just slide the right foot back and just come to your knees. So you can come to hero pose, just briefly, just really just a way of just kind of realigning the body. Just a quick hero, just sitting up. We're going to take the hands right back out front, way out front on the mat. Tuck your toes, lift the knees and hips, and just return to a downward facing dog. So just a quick hero pose, returning to a down dog. Same sequence, other side. Inhale, extend left leg into the air. Hold as you exhale and just feel the body get longer. Reach through your toes. Press, firmly into the ground with the hands. Now we'll open it up. So bend the knee, a bit of a lift of the knee. Feel that twist, feel the opening of the hip. Stay there, or just see if you can rotate, open a tiny bit more. Notice what that feels like and where that sensation is arising. Okay, there it is. Okay, we'll unwind it now so we can step through for warrior one. Back to that sequence, flowing. Left foot to the top, right heel turns to the ground. Hinge from hips, rise up, reaching into the sky, first warrior. Exhale, opening to the right side of the room. There's your warrior two. Side angle, reach out, rotate the arms. You might even follow the right arm over your head. Reach for another right side body stretch. Okay, we're getting ready for that deep lunge on the other side. Breathe in. And exhale and turn. Bring both hands down to the floor on the inside of the left foot. Rise up onto your tiptoes behind you. And we'll gently set the right knee onto the floor. All right, let's set this up. You might step your hands forward a little bit. Take the left foot forward and again off to the left side as far as you'd like, as long as you have some good space in the left inner thigh. Press hands firmly into the floor to straighten the arms. Look forward and feel as if you're going forward. And inhale to find that extension, and the exhale to start to that slow sink. You don't have to go all the way all at once. Take it in small increments here. Letting the breath guide you, and of course support you. Bending elbows to start that slow progression closer to the ground. Bring in a block or two if you need it. Paying attention. Now this side might feel quite different than the first side. You might have more flexibility on this side, so you might be able to go a little deeper. Or maybe it's less, and so perhaps you want to back it up. Use more support, or not hold the pose as long. It's certainly okay to come out of the pose if need be. Deep breaths. Create the space. If your intention included release, this is a wonderful opportunity to express that release, letting go. Anything that might be stored in the hips. Good job. Let's take 3 more breaths here. Just as we came into the pose slowly, make your way out of the pose slowly. Come up onto the hands, unsink the hips. Walk the hands over to the right side so we can slide the left foot back so you can come to your knees. Realigning the body briefly in our hero. And we'll just scoot the hands back out front there onto the mat. Downward facing dog. Breathe in. And exhale, walk, step, or hop. Both feet return to the top of the mat. Stay on your feet. Inhale, extend through the spine with a fold. Inhale, reverse the swan dive. Come all the way up. We're just going to keep this in motion. Reach high. This exhale, come to chair pose, and you might even bring hands to heart center. I'm just going to take a twist. It could be a mild twist. Doesn't have to be too much. Breathing in for some good extension through the spine. We're going to exhale and twist mildly to the right side. I typically stay up high in my chair pose, and I don't twist very far. But you're welcome to sit back and down a little deeper. You might rotate enough where left elbow, it might touch the left leg or even the right leg. Just ensure your spine feels long, your hips and tailbone moving to the back of the room while your crown, the top of your head, is moving to the front of the room in that straight line. Perfect. Breathe in. We'll exhale to unwind. Place both hands on your thighs. Push into your thighs to help you stand up. Let's get tall again. Extended mountain pose right away into our chair pose. Exhale into the seat. Hands to heart. High seat or low seat. Twist to the other side. Breathe in. Exhale. Here's our revolve to the left side. Mild if you need to. And these don't have to be too strenuous at all. Good. Hips and tailbone are reaching to the back of the room. Crown is leading you forward. We're breathing in. You exhale to unwind, hands on thighs. This time just slide down the legs to a forward fold. Let's continue our flow here. Inhale, lifting halfway, monkey pose. Exhale, hands to the earth, hop or step back, plank pose. Come down if you like, Chaturanga Dandasana. Again, any variation of a
Vinyasa or flow is good right here. Meaning in downward facing dog. When you're ready, inhale, extend right leg up behind you. Keep it straight. This exhale, step right foot to the top of the mat. We're going to do a high lunge. So your left heel will stay lifted. All 10 toes are pointing forward, finding your center. Long torso, then we'll hinge from hips, rise up, reaching into the air. Yeah, this will take some balance. Reaching high, lunge low, hug to center. Okay, imagine you've got a block between the knees. You're just squeezing in. Now we want a lot of energy reaching up, okay? Because on the exhale, we're going to slowly bend the left knee and bring it right down to the ground. Go ahead and bring your hands to your thigh. Just kind of shift back a little bit because we're going to scoot that right foot forward, even out to the side. We're going to repeat that deep lunge. Okay, we're not going to hold it as long, but we're going to repeat it. Okay? And then keep hands on thigh here, because what you can do is inhale, feel growth or length in the torso. Exhale, just lunge, send the hips down and forward. Now, the taller you are, the more of a back bend you'll create. You might do that for a few seconds. You can stay there if you'd like, or just hinge forward. Okay, so you get out of that back bend, and then maybe start making your way back down to the earth. Okay, we're not going to hold it as long, so maybe you're just going down and just seeing where the body just kind of naturally takes you after the first time that we were here. And just 3 more breaths. There. We're slowly starting to come back up out of the pose. Again, take the hands out to the left side, slide right foot back. So you're on your knees again. Let's just take that quick hero pose. We're going to add a posture here. So here's hero. But then, if you can, lift up onto the knees, going to camel. You're going to bring your hands to your low back. I usually take my fists. You can be your palms or your thumbs. I just use my fists. 2 motions. You're going to push down with some energy and forward. As you press down with the hands, you want to feel like you're getting tall in the torso. When you exhale, you're going to push gently forward, keeping the hips stacked over the knees, and tip back a little bit. So we're just going to mildly take a back bend. Again, an inhale, push down, feel the torso lift up. Exhale, push fists forward, lean back. 1 more breath. And with the opening of the heart, just like in bridge pose, expand the lungs. Okay. I'm going to rise back up. Start to send the hips back. Bring the hands to the floor. We're going to take child's pose. Take the knees out to the side if you need to, or just widen the legs. Sit back. Arms extend out front. This could be a very active child's pose where your hips are reaching back towards the heels while the hands reach forward. This also could be much more relaxed. You can even just bring the elbows to the floor. Of course, your forehead could be on the floor. Or if your arms or shoulders need a release or just a rest, you can bring your arms behind you as if you're reaching for your feet. So the arms can just kind of melt here for a few more breaths. How about 3 more breaths here in our child's pose? If your hands are out front, just slide them a little closer to your knees. So you can just come up 2 hands and knees. Adjust the knees so they're underneath the hips. Stay here in this tabletop. We'll just take cat and cow. The in-breath is our cow pose, creating the back bend. Exhale, round it out. Take 1 more breath. We'll finish in that tabletop position. You might step the hands forward a little bit so you can return to a down dog. Tuck your toes, lift the knees, send the hips into the air. Feel the re-extension of your spine. Let's do that on the other side. So an inhale to extend left leg into the air. And exhale, left foot to the top of the mat. We're going to high lunge. Right heel stays lifted. All 10 toes are pointing forward. Find your center. Less weight in the hands. Hinge from hips. Yeah, rising up, reaching into the air. Good energy in that lift. We got that lunge happening. Squeeze to center with the legs for good balance. Maybe reaching a bit higher as you're able. And exhale to help support the bending of the right knee, bringing it down to the ground. Once you've landed, we'll bring the hands to the thigh and lean back a little bit so we have easy mobility of the left foot forward and out to the left side. Hands on thigh, just for that back bend feel of the lunge. So you're going to inhale to get tall, exhale, send hips down and forward. That should create the back bend. And you can get out of the back bend, forward folding, and then making your way down to the ground. And again, just melting. And once you've arrived in your personal depth of the pose, take 3 breaths. After the 3rd breath, we're slowly making our way up and out of the posture. Again, you might step the hands over to the right side so you can easily slide the left foot back onto the knee. Just come to our hero pose for that alignment, nice and tall. And right up onto the knees, prepare for your camel pose variation. Support the back with the hands, we're pushing down and lifting up through the torso. That's our in-breath. Exhale, push forward slightly, tip back slightly. You might do that one more time. Inhaling, pushing down with the fist, feel the torso lift. Exhale, gently nudge the hips forward, tip back. Chin is tipped up. You don't have to tip the head back too far, because that might constrict your breathing. You can even drop the chin down if you want and still be in the back bend. 2 more breaths. Okay, then we'll rise back up. Start to send the hips back, hands to the floor, going back to our child's pose. So hands out front, take the knees wide if that feels good. Sit back, arms forward. Maybe at first it is an active pose, and then you can soften it up as you like, even relax the shoulders and arms. Treat this as an extension as well as a slight rounding of the back, just as you just came out of a back bend. 2 more breaths. Rise up. Adjust the hands, adjust the knees, tabletop for maybe just 3 breaths, cat and cow. Keeping that nice mobility through the spine, rocking through the pelvis. Finishing in that tabletop position where you'll just hold for a moment. Return to a down dog when you're ready. Adjusting the hands, tuck your toes. And the knees lift and the hips lift. You're re-extending the spine. So it's a nice flow for the back body. We just did a back bend. We did a forward fold. Now we're straightening the spine. Breathe in fully. Fill up your lungs. Exhale, walk, step, or hop both feet up to the top of the mat. Stay on the feet here, extending through the spine. And a fold. Weight shift into the heels, bend your knees. Inhale, reverse your swan dive. We'll come up nice and tall. And exhale, arms to your side. All right, feel free to take some deep breaths. Move around, shake it out. All right, so this next part of the sequence, we're going to move into from a side bend into a twist, okay?
So here we go, first side, breathing in, reaching into the sky. Interlace the fingers, index fingers are pointing towards the ceiling. Inhale, point and lift, that's the in-breath. Exhale, tip to your right. So you'll feel this through the left side. Again, just kind of melting to you until you come to a natural stop. We'll inhale, come back up nice and tall. Exhale, release the fingers, come to chair pose. You might even bring hands to heart center. Once you're in your seat, inhale, find more extension through the spine. Exhale, twist to your right. Just revolving on this plane. We're not going to be here too long. Breathing in right where you are. Exhale, unwind. Hands on knees or thighs, and just slide down to your forward fold. Let's continue. Halfway up, inhale, monkey. Exhale, hands to the floor, hop or step back, plank pose. Come down if you like, chaturanga dandasana. Inhale, up dog. And exhale, downward facing dog. Once in down dog, inhale, extend right leg up behind you, bend and twist, and again, opening enough where it feels like you're going to step all the way over yourself, but you're not. Just feel what's happening. You're going to unwind. We're finally coming to pigeon. So right knee comes down behind the right wrist, angle the right leg. The left leg will come down as well. Use left knee and toes. Shift it back so you shift back and find your center, getting into the hips. Here's another posture that will hold. Okay. You might inhale just to get some length in the spine. Exhale, you'll crawl forward, which of course naturally brings you downward. Just like the other deep lunge, take your time with this. Find your personal depth. Notice if your body is responding to the pose, meaning it feels good, it feels like you can hold here for a bit, you don't feel strained. Or notice if the body's reacting to the pose, where you're starting to tense up or feel stressed. If that feels like that's the response, then shift it up. Good. Even checking in to see if there's more space to move into it. Done quite a bit of lunges, number of lunges already. So what you could do, optional, using your left knee and toes, see if the left leg can crawl back a little bit more towards the back edge of your mat. If your head is lower, just lift the head a little bit and try to extend the spine, even feel like you're trying to crawl forward or slide forward. Just those two simple things will take you deeper into the pose. It won't feel like you moved much, but you have moved. Three more breaths. And like our other poses, we moved into them slowly. Let's come out of them slowly. Start to rise, coming up onto the hands. We're going to turn this into the back bend version. You're going to place your hands on the side here, maybe propped up onto your fingertips. Elbows will be bent initially. Push into the floor, straightening the arms to lift yourself up. So you're in the back bend version, just for a quick second. You're letting the left hip flexor soften, release, sit off to the right side. Lean to the right so we can bring the left leg around to the front. Let's come to Cobbler's pose, just for a realignment. What we'll do, this is going to be quick. You might even scoop the toes or feet or ankles nice and tall here. One fold. Okay. Again, just feel the melting sensation. The back might round. That's perfect for this. But we're going to come right back up. Okay, you can roll back up or re-extend the spine and hinge your way back up. Once we're tall with the extended spine, start to lean back. Bring the knees together. Lift the feet. Boat pose. We're going to move again, breathing in. Exhale, cross legs, hands in front, hop or step back, plank pose. Take a shortcut to down dog. Listen carefully.
Re-extend the right leg into the air. Right leg, straight line. Right foot to the top of the mat. High lunge. Shifting the weight back. Find your center. Rise up. Good energy as you extend up. Lunge low, hug to midline. Follow me. We're inhaling, reaching higher. Exhale, we're bending this left knee. Once the knee just touches the ground, guess what? We're coming right back up. Coming right back up. We're going to hinge forward, getting weight into the front foot. Step forward into chair pose. Going right away to the other side. Rise up. Interlace fingers. Point to the ceiling. Inhale. Exhale, tip to your left. See it melt or feel the sensation. We're going to inhale, come right back up. With the exhale, release the hands, come to chair pose. Bring hands to heart center. Inhale, more extension through the spine. You've got it. Exhale, twist to your left. Rotate, revolve, wring it out. Yes. Here we go, breathing in. And our exhale, unwinding. Hands to the thighs, slide down, forward fold. Releasing head, neck, and shoulders. Another monkey pose to extend through the spine. Exhale, hands to the floor. Let's hop or step back, plank pose. Come on down if you like, Chaturanga Dandasana. Elbows hug in towards ribs. Find your back bend, keep it low if you'd like. Exhale, downward facing dog. Arriving in the pose. We'll take our inhale and extend the left leg into the sky, bend and twist. Feel as if you're going to step over yourself. Notice what's happening through that whole left side of the body, still opening up. Unwinding so we can come to pigeon. Left knee to the ground behind left wrist, angled leg. Right knee comes down, using right knee and toes. Slowly send your way back, settling into the hips. Then extend the spine. And crawl forward, settling in, make the adjustments as needed. Maybe our other lunges helped us prepare for this pose. So you might find that you go instantly deep into the posture. Notice if you can tell the difference in your own body between that reaction and a response. Sometimes it's so subtle because we can get used to just feeling stress that it feels normal. Checking in to see if there's more space. This is optional. Maybe the right knee and toes can crawl back a little further. Lift the head. Just to extend the spine to see if you can send the whole upper body forward. These will, again, be very subtle movements to help you go a little bit deeper into your pigeon pose. Wonderful. We'll take 3 more breaths here. We're moving slowly to come out of the pose. Come up onto your hands so you can lift the upper body. Coming to our second version of pigeon, hands to your side, propped up on fingertips so your arms are longer. Push into the ground to lift like you're doing upward facing dog. Feel that in the right hip flexor. Open the chest, might even tip the chin up a little bit. And we'll soften, sit off to your left side. We'll swing the right leg around to the front. Scoop up the toes or ankles. Inhale nice and tall. Exhale, fold. We're going to hold this one a little bit longer. First time we came right out of it, but just feel free to hold this for at least 3 to 5 breaths. Feel free to allow the back to round, so there's some stretch in the back body. as well as that release in the inner thighs and hips. Take one more breath. If the back is rounded, feel free just to kind of roll back up, or you might extend the spine first and hinge your way back up until you're nice and tall. And start to lean back. Once again, going to boat pose. So as you lean back, the legs get a little lighter. Bring the knees together. Feet can float. More extension, more lift. That's it. Breathe in. We're going to move. Exhale, cross legs, hands in front or to the side. Hands out front. Hop or step back plank. Shortcut down dog. Let's do that lunge magic pose again. Inhale, left leg into the sky. Left foot to the top of the mat, high lunge. Find center, hinge, rise up. Find the energy to hold the posture. Reach high, lunge low, hug to center. Inhale, reach into the air. As you're lifting up, we're exhaling, but bringing right knee down to the floor. We're just going to tap the ground with the knee and come right back up. And then we're going to hinge forward into a chair pose. We're going to stand up tall, extended mountain, maybe a slight back bend. Keep it moving. Exhale, swan dive. We're going to make our way down to the earth to finish up. Monkey, extending. Exhale, fold, hands to the ground, hop or step back, plank pose. Come down only if you want. You can just take the shortcut to down dog if you'd like, or modify. Feel free to take a low cobra. Meeting in downward facing dog. Pause there for a breath or two. Feel that nice re-extension of spine. We're going to take a seat, so you can just kneel down to take your seat or hop forward, cross legs to take your seat. Roll down onto your back. Hug knees in. Set the left foot down and even extend that left leg. Either one. You can keep the knee bent or extend the leg. Let's just do half happy baby pose. Here's some versions, different versions you can take. So I'm holding onto my right knee. I'm flexing the foot, but I'm just opening the leg, and that's all I'm doing. So that's one version, or you could kick the foot up in the air, hold on to the foot or ankle. Okay, so more classic version of that. But I've gotten into doing it this way as well. It's just a slightly lighter version. Two more breaths. We're going to turn this into a twist. So you might even just bend that right knee, releasing the foot, and take that right knee across the body over to the left side of the room. Creating a twist. Your right arm might extend out to the right side. Now the left leg, it might be straight on the floor, or you might even just bend the knee, just as we do it in a more classic spinal twist, whatever feels best. Good. And just two more breaths on this first side. Make your way back to center. Hug both knees into chest. Extend both legs into the air. This is brief, just an extension of the legs. Maybe circle the ankles. Flex and point a few times, just to get some realignment and just to throw in a inverted posture. Then we can bend the knees. We'll release the right leg. You can set the foot on the floor or extend the whole leg onto the floor. Half happy baby pose. So left leg, you can take it out to the side. The knee is bent. You can just keep it open or kick the foot towards the ceiling, holding on to the sole of the foot.
This pose kind of mimics that deep lunge we did earlier. More breaths. And we'll turn this into a twist. Releasing the foot, we'll take that knee across the body, crossing the midline, over towards the right side of the room. Left arm extends to the left. And 2 more breaths. When you're ready, just make your way back to center. Hug both knees into chest. Again, just a chance to realign here. Just move into Shavasana or any other relaxing posture in a reclining position. Settle in, use props to help support the body as needed. And of course, choosing any other pose that feels good for you at this moment. Just any restorative position. That could be lying on your side. You might even lie on your belly. You can even come to seated. Wherever you are, just settle in. Find breath. Return to the awareness of your breath. Take 5 slow, steady breaths. Take your time here. There's no rush to come back up to seated. Just stay here a little longer as you need to, even as I instruct you to come to seated. Feel free to stay a little longer in your Shavasana. As you're breathing in and out, sending new life and energy throughout your body, feel movement return to your body. And if it feels right at this moment, roll onto either side of your body. Taking your time to eventually rise to a seated position. Just one more movement together. We'll inhale, extend your arms into the air, reaching high. As you exhale, bring your palms together and down to your heart. And once you're here, just taking one more breath. And as we come to the close of our practice together, we bow, saying, Namaste.